Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and people who like to stay up real late, to you 3 a.m.s and 4 a.m.s, because that's what, it's 6 a.m. here in Naples, Florida, and still no sign of anything on the transfer window. Yeah, same old shit. I'm frankly Tottenham. This is Tottenham Fred saying hello, thank you for coming and listening to me talk about Tottenham Hotspur. Apparently, my last video, I'm having audio problems. The last one I used a headset with a mic and you could hear all my breathing. And the thing is, this is a cheap mic. I bought it for $70. I need to get a better one. I've noticed I've got to be really close to the mic so people can hear what I'm saying. Because if you listen with the earbuds, you can hear me fine. But if you just play it on your phones outside in the garden or something, like, you can hardly hear me. So the last video I did a little prank where I thought we got all these players, and then I got rickrolled. You only can hear it. You only can hear it if you got earphones on. That's my previous video. But anyway, it's Monday morning here in the United States. It's just past 6 a.m. and there's nothing concrete yet going on. My nephew sent me this over the weekend and said, these two players are coming. These two players are coming. It's pretty much a done deal, so we'll see. We'll see. I've only heard of one of them. That's Bentancur. I've heard of him, but Kalva-Savitsky, I haven't heard of him, but I went on YouTube, looked him up on his highlights, and what I was impressed by was the 2021. They had a 2021 highlights on him, and it was 8 minutes of good shit. 8 minutes of good shit, and we're only a month in January, so I wonder if they put stuff on from the beginning of the season. I don't know, but if he's done that in like a couple of games in 8 minutes worth, Jesus Christ, yeah, bring him in. What I saw was good. Reminds me a lot of Gareth Bale. His long strides, he looks like he's slow, but he's not. Those long strides, he's pretty fast, and he's got skill, a little bit of creativeness, but we still don't have that creative player though. I think Lewandowski, he's more of another one of Levy's projects, and my cousin says Bentancur is ready for now. You can put him in right now. So we'll see. What do you think, Tottenham Fred? He thinks it's embarrassing. He just thinks the whole thing's freaking embarrassing. I don't blame you, mate. It is embarrassing. Oh dear. I mean, like, can you imagine if we don't get anybody? Not even a cup of tea, and a muffin? I mean, come on. I mean, a lot of people will call them a cup of tea and a muffin, but seriously, if we don't get anybody, I'm smoking more of this. And so is Tottenham Fred. No, actually, he doesn't. He's underage. You can't smoke weed underage. You have to be 18 and older, and you have to have a medical license here in the United States, which I have. I have a medical marijuana license, so I could buy it. And I mostly like the gummy bears. I only smoke the bong when I have a lot of pain. Like, I need a shoulder replacement surgery, and my eyes like going blind. Like, over the weekend I had an episode where my left eye is getting worse. My right eye is pretty much fucked, it's gone. But my left eye's getting attacks, so I've been putting eye drops in there, and I take medication too to try and slow down the disease. But I had a bit of an attack on my left eye's a bit swollen, you might see it. But yeah, I mean, everything that's going on in my life, it's like Tottenham blindness and everything. It's like, I mean, if Man City was my team, I'd probably be like, Man City's my team, I don't care if I'm blind. I always hear them winning trophies every year. That'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? I'm sure some Tottenham fans might swap their eyesight for a kind of a Man City setup. But not me. I want to win our trophies cleanly. I don't want to do it bend the rules and just buy cups. Basically, that's all you do. And now Newcastle's going to be another one of these teams, and and then it's going to be a fight like between Tottenham and Arsenal, who, you know, who's the shittiest one out of the big six. Yeah, they've got the history, but at the moment we've got the better players than Arsenal. Um, so it's very interesting, isn't it? Arsenal have come down to our level, and they're all freaking out. Like they're freaking out like it's like a zombie invasion. You know, they're like, I can't take this. What is this losing? Why are you being shit and bantered on by everybody in the leagues? Oh my god, I can't take it anymore. And I heard one of them, poor DT. Well, I shouldn't say poor. Everyone's upset with him, but I heard one of their on Arsenal fan TV, the guy DT who's always throwing stuff at everybody and screaming and shouting and effing and blinding about his team. Um, you know, he's in prison now for harassing his old lady, ex-old lady, and he put a GPS or something in her phone without her knowledge, and he followed her around to a hotel, and then he confronted her, and then you love her. And you love her, and then all of a sudden a fight broke out, and a standby person saw it and came running and to the rescue, and now DT is serving 3 years in jail. I'm sure he has a different side of the story. I'm sure he said we're still in love, and you know, that's my woman. But you know, hopefully that the law was correct on the sentencing. First he got 1 year, and then the prosecution appealed it for a more harsher sentence, and from 12 months they went to 3 years, and the guy must be out of his fucking mind, you know. But look, if he's banging the broad around and hitting her, you know what I mean? Sorry, broad, get a bird. I mean a girl. You know what I mean? If you're hitting a lady, like that's it. Your platform's gone. You're stripped. You can't exactly come back from hitting a girl. That you just can't. So look, I kind of like DT because when Arsenal lost, especially to us, like he really got upset. So I used to get a big plate of ice cream when we beat Arsenal. About 4 hours after we won, you know what I mean, I had dinner, then I get some ice cream, and I smoke a little bit before I have ice cream, and then I get on my laptop, and then kind of watch DT and Robbie and all the rest lose it. You know, especially I love Ty. Ty is like he's like a 15-year-old secondary school boy stuck in a 50-year-old man's body, you know, in the brain, and he's just so childish, but he's funny. Like, you know, the arguments he picks are like something you remember back from being in the secondary school in England. It's crazy, man. But I do like him. Look, it's fun to watch the lads at AFTV because they're funny. I was on Expressions he was like watching wrestling and stuff, and Rants was on there. I put a $20 super chat down because Rants was on. I'm subscribed to Lee Gunner. I like Lee Gunner, but sometimes, you know, he goes over the top a little bit with the I'm not a hard man, but I am a hard man act. You know what I'm saying? So he had Rants on, and they were talking about DT, and next thing, like, they're destroying him. They're like two gladiators that got a lion, and they're picking him apart and sucking off the bones, and Rants is going, yeah, man, you know, I should give it to him years ago. You know, he deserved it. He deserved it, man. You should give it to him years ago. And then, but why didn't you, bro? That's why I sent the super chat. You mouthed off that you were like, you know, that you wanted to, you know, get it on with him many a time, but you didn't. And you said you did say, fair play to your Rants, you did say that some people stopped you one time from getting in a fight, that he wanted that people, like, he got all hard on you when there was tons of people around. But still, you know that he's away in prison, and you two are just slicing him up. And it's a very delicate situation. I actually take my hats off to Troops. I'm subscribed to Troops, and I like Troops as a Tottenham fan. I think he's really funny. He smokes weed. I smoke weed. We're both blood clot brothers of the weed. But his explanation of his relationship with DT was excellent. I really liked it. He was explaining that, look, it's very personal, and there's two sides to every story, and he hopes that the law got it right. And that's when I stand completely with Troops on what he said. So yeah, good luck to Arsenal, and you're in a lot of dark days, a lot of dark water at the moment, and look, if you need a life belt or a rope thrown at you, you know, be nice to us Tottenham fans because we've been there for 30 years. So when you think of you having like your shit, and you keep saying your shit, think of 30 years that where we've been up with that, you know, because it's been hard for us Tottenham fans. 30 years of what, one, two, three trophies in 30 years. It's pretty fucking hurtful, you know. I grew up in the 70s and 80s when we were at least winning a trophy every couple of years, you know. So I feel really, really, really bad for the youthful generation of Tottenham Hotspur because it's just it shouldn't be like that. You know, what's Levy's ambition in life? What's Joe Lewis's ambition in life? Are they wanting to just make money and pile it up and then die? And so someone like, and then have a percentage sent to charity and then they get their statues up at White Hart Lane. I'll tell you something, if your statues go up at White Hart Lane, they're going to get graffiti eyes. They're not going to be thought of fondly, right? If you don't do anything to help, like, you should have helped us in 2016-17 season. That was the perfect time to do it. You should have said, you know what, we're building the stadium, we've got the loans out, but this freaking team, all it needs to win trophies for a sustained amount of time, if we get 3 good players that we can rotate at the front, and maybe one more centre back. So if you've got 4 players, a winger, say 2 winger, say 2 box-to-box midfielders, 1 winger, and a centre back. At that time, that in that transfer summer when you didn't get anybody, we would have won trophies and probably, you know, we would probably we might not have won the Premier League because Chelsea, Man City came back hard and Liverpool came back hard and they were basically just fighting amongst themselves. We would have had to be really, but we would have been, the 3 of us would have been fighting, and that would have been really, really, really interesting because if we did win, it would have been felt like the best Premier League because no doubt in the history books it would be shown that Tottenham, Liverpool, Man City were at the peak of their powers and they all 3 of them fought each other and Tottenham prevailed. And that would have been one hell of a party, wouldn't it? Like, I mean, fuck Prince's 1999. Imagine if we won like the Premier League, you know, with 91 points because we couldn't get to 100 if three teams were playing. Like Man City won with 103 or something, and Arsenal, Liverpool 99 or whatever it was. If the 3 of us were all in there, in the mix, if we were in the mix with them, we would have been, the points would have gone down a bit. We'd be like 90, 92, 91. So, but it would have been, the history books would have said it would have been probably one of the best seasons. But, you know, Levy and Joe Lewis, no, they said no, we want our money, you know, and that's it. And as us poor fans, we just have to deal with the consequences of them being rich. And if you're born into the Tottenham family like I was, my family members are Tottenham supporters, we have no choice because we're like children of the corn. That's who we are. We are Tottenham's children, and that's why they've tortured us. And children of the corn too is the next generation above me, which is Generation Z. And millennial Tottenham fans are children of the corn free. So that's who we fucking are, children of the corn. We are just we're just fucking demented with teasing and you know, freaking papers saying, well, like, we're into this player, or into that player, and then it gets to the end. It never happens. It's not going to happen with Levy. It's just not. Conte's going to go, and then we're going to go back to being what we were before we had Frank, before we had Redknapp and Bale on that team, Modric and all that. We're going to go back to a little bit before Aaron Lennon, you know, back there when we were mid-table kind of, you know, team. But at least those teams had a bit of pride. At least they try to give it a bang, a bit of a go in the FA Cup and the League Cup. But we just don't have the owners. We don't have them, and that's just us. But we stick together. That's all we can do, and plough on, march on, hope for a change. That's all we can do. It's hope, a bit of hope and faith that these guys, you know, I don't wish them any harm, Joe Lewis or Daniel Levy. They must have some deeps kind of. I mean, they must know what kind of pain they're inflicting on the fans. They must. but something must be wrong with something must have gone wrong in their childhood to act this way, and not even look. They've only put 14 million of their own money in 21 years. I'm pretty right about that. You can double check me, but I read an account online, and it was a pretty. I think it was from Alice the Gold, and they only put in 14 million at one time. This is back in the mid 2000s, about 2007, I think. They put 14 million pounds in the kitty, but took it out like the next season. You know, with some profits. They took it with whatever profits, they took it back and put it back in their pocket with interest. So no, have they put in money of their own? No. And I did a video before, and look, the interest, Lewis, I talked about what Joe Lewis interest he makes on his money. Like, he's roughly making about 40 million a month on interest, okay, out of all these assets. If he's got all the money in his bank and whatever, he's probably making 20 to 40 million. Okay, every 3 months. So if we gave up a year of interest to Tottenham, that's all we need. You know, maybe a year and a half of interest of what he's making, and so you know what, I'm getting old and I'm starting to have a conscience, and boy, I've milked that club in North London to all its can. I've suckled on its tit, and that's. I'm feeling old and miserable, and I want to feel young again. So I'm going to give a year worth of my interest money to Daniel Levy. He will fight me, but I will tell him I am the majority shareholder and do as I say, boy. Just do as I say. So we can only hope some scenario like that. Oh my neck. Oh, crack. But yeah. I hope that will happen. But anyway, much love. Tottenham Fred's embarrassed. He's just like, I don't even want to talk about this window. Yeah. He's like, fucking cheap bastards. But anyway, keep yourselves healthy. Okay? Even you Arsenal fans, keep yourself healthy. Much love. Maybe something will happen. Look, what is it? What time is it in England now? 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, you know, let's hope something comes across that we all of a sudden they do something like, wow, like fireworks, and we're all happy. But prepare for the worst. Run to your basements if you have one. Run to the bathroom and hide, because it's going to be painful and a lot of salt will be probably flowing. So anyway, lots of love, and bye-bye for now.